The Gita describes all the movements in the lower nature, including those of the ego self, ahankara, in terms of a combination of three qualities called gunas. In the last class, actually, Arul introduced this topic of quality. I'm going back to the original wisdom where that's an important thing to do. There are three gunas. Triguna, we say. What are the three gunas? Tamas, which we've come across earlier, and Rajas and Sattva. So, the ancient Indian wisdom, which goes back to the Sankhya philosophy, says really there are no 100 students sitting here. There are only three invisible characters, three forces, Tamas, Rajas and Sattva, and they are going to manifest in different ways, and they always fluctuate. So if you understand these three characters, you know everything about everything in the world, not just human beings, everything. That's a very profound theory, to be able to come up with a theory where there are only three players and you need to know what they look like, what they sound like. Before we get into that, we've introduced to you this idea of the physical, the vital, the mental. They're all linked to the chakras, the 7 chakras. But we tend to identify with the persona. Western psychology, the word uses persona, which means the outer layer, the mask. You want to look good in front of everybody. We do things primarily with the idea, what will other people think about what I'm doing, right? So the persona is what connects us with the world, and we are very sensitive and conscious to it, and we think this is who we are, but that's false. That is called ahankara, ego self, and it can be of three types. When it's predominantly in the physical, we say it is tamasic ahankara. We'll slowly understand all this. When it's predominantly driven by your vital being, it's rajasic ahankara. When it's predominantly governed by your higher mental qualities, it's sattvic ahankara, but often it's a mixture of everything. Okay, and then your real true self is here. Both of these are aspects of your Atma. And the real challenge in life is to shift your center from the outer ego center to your true self. That's what this course is all about. But if you want to do it at your own time, it's not easy. This journey is not easy. Prakriti. What is Prakriti? Is there any student here called Prakriti? How do we get common name? What does Prakriti mean? Nature. Right? What is the compatriot to Prakriti in the Gita? Purusha. So we'll see there's a huge section of Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti is manifest nature. Anything that you can see and experience is Prakriti. Okay. Right. So Prakriti is colored by these three gunas. To understand Prakriti in the lower nature, you have to see these three gunas. So let's look at the gunas. The first to come out is Tamas. And the physical actually has this property. Inertia, you know, this early morning, the difficulty of getting up, getting out of the bed, because the body wants to sleep. Inertia, rigidity, mechanical nature, ignorance, delusion, coarseness, heaviness. Because of this ignorance, that's why the journey is from Tamas to Jyoti, from darkness to light also. Coarseness, heaviness, slowness, dogmatic conservatism, sloth, laziness, dullness, grief, depression, decadence. You can add many more meanings to it. Broadly, all this points to Tamas. It's a quality. Rajas. So, a physical matter has this predominant consciousness. Rajas, Rajas have it. So this all the Kshatriyas are supposed to be dominated by this dynamism, vitality, activity, excitation, struggle, pain, restlessness, lust, conquest, greed, instability, insatiability. So this, I put two creatures here. This is also, the little lamb is also showing vital nature, but this lion represents the vital nature. Sattva. Poise, fineness, lightness, harmony, illumination, joy, balance, calmness, gentleness, care, morality, lucidity, purity, empathy, truthfulness, honesty. Not very easy to find. This came later in evolution. Even the human brain evolved through 3 stages and it's still evolving. So, this is gross and this is getting finer and more subtle as it went. There's something beyond this. That's where the higher nature starts. Broadly, some idea you've got of the 3 gunas. Now you can understand that almost everybody is colored by the 3 gunas. Everything is covered by the 3 gunas. Let's discuss phenomena like politics. Politics is dominated by which guna? Yes. If you get a politician who's got strong sattva in him, he would qualify to be a statesman, right? And to be exceptional, you have to think of the greater good. Not easy. So these are more self-centered. You take agitation. Take this agitation against Jallikattu. We want to preserve the culture of Tamilians. Is it tamasic, rajasic or sattvic? Huh? You're getting into troubled waters, but you get all kinds. The very fact that this is tradition, you cannot change it, is tamas. Tamas says no way you can change. But you say it is something noble, it is a good thing that has to be preserved, it's sattva. You understand? It depends on how it, and usually you have all the kinds, kinds coming. And the guys who are agitating and about to shoot with their rifles, they get into rajas. So you will find all 3 gunas play everywhere, especially in religion. You can have 3 gunas in music. So it's very interesting. So slowly we'll unveil the 3 gunas. But I want to ask you at this stage, Arjuna's condition in the battlefield, would you label it tamasic, rajasic or sattvic? Now wake him up. What condition were you in now? Huh? Which of these 3? Give me a chance to think yourself. Huh? He's reading it first. Tamasic. Can't blame him. Once you understand Prakriti, you will never blame anybody. Why? He was possessed by Tamo Guna, not his fault. Seriously, you should also tell that, sir, not my fault. I was possessed by Tamo Guna. Right? So he needs help, and that's how he brought, see, now he's aroused from Tamo to Rajas. So, it's true, you cannot blame, you get possessed. And how to consciously keep control, keep balance is a real challenge. Okay, what was the question I asked? Arjuna, what do you think his condition was? Predominantly. Was it tamas, rajas or sattva? Tamas. Why tamas? Decadence. Any other reason? Anyone to say it is sattva? Yeah.
He's thinking of a noble cause now.
He's thinking also. So there is some truth, some element of sattva, I agree, but we are saying predominantly. Rajas means he'll fight, yeah. Rajasic people fight. Guys who want to retire, hurt, don't want to fight.
His mind is still.
Wait. He's fundamentally rajasic. His basic nature, the Kshatriya, is rajasic. That I agree. But in the battlefield, all that he's become impotent. Rajas has vanished. Right? I'm asking his condition in Vishada. So very interesting. Yeah.
That is because his instability in himself.
Instability only means restlessness, yeah, waiting to fight. This is kind of instability. You understand? Like our students here, can't concentrate, mind is flying here, there. Monkey mind, that is unstable.
Initially he was ready to fight and then he's going back.
He's not going back. He puts his arm down, he's kind of wanting to be Jesus Christ out there. You see, each avatar has a purpose. Okay, so here's an opinion. Yeah, please.
A small question, sir. How come these words came under? For example, if Tamas, there are so many different characteristics. Why come these characteristics comes under Tamas? I mean, do they have any common?
Let's put it this way.
Do they have any common?
Let's put it this way. These have something common to one another. They're kind of correlated. Dynamism is correlated to vitality, to activity, to excitation. You understand? There's a vibration there. There's an energy there. Agree? There's a quality of energy there.
Okay.
Rajas is only a description of that quality. We have to look at it that way. It's a name for that vibratory impulse, the vital nature. Rajas is a description of that. That's all. It's a broad, generic description. Tamas is you want to go to sleep, you don't want to do anything, you're dull, you're drunk. The hostel, which guna is prominent at night. See, even the time of the day also you can tell. When you're boozed out or you've taken narcotics or whatever. So that's the moment. You're getting into troubled waters. Got it? So you can see, and they're attractive. By the way, happiness is also the three kinds. You can have a kind of dull, drugged, inebriated happiness.
Okay.
That's tamoguna happiness, right? You can have an excited happiness. I won this award. I'm going to fight. I'm going to win. It's great. You understand? You can have a calm, peaceful happiness. Do you understand the different quality? That's what I'm talking about. Got it? And actually, looking at people, you know what guna has possessed him or her at that point. Yeah.
So Arjuna is of sattva nature at that point because he's like empathy and all.
Keep saying the same thing again and again. I get your point of view.
No, I didn't understand why it would be.
Why?
Like, why? Because there is no.
That understanding will come now. By the way, you need not accept any of this. I am lastly giving you Sri Aurobindo's interpretation. But there have been people who not agree. So you're welcome to, but let's finish it and let's see. The ego itself can assert itself typically in three different ways: tamasic, rajasic or sattvic, or in some combination. Arjuna's trembling, confusion and ranting are clearly not reflect of his sattvic ahankara, despite what you're saying, although he is inclined to believe so in his confusion. Understand? We try to rationalize like that. Sri Aurobindo comments insightfully on Arjuna's disposition. He advances to this gigantic struggle, to this Kurukshetra, with the full acceptance of the joy of battle as to a holiday of a fight, but with a proud confidence in the righteousness of his cause. That's how he's fought all the battles till now. For a rightful cause, his job is to fight, protect people. Right? When this confidence is shattered within him, when is it shattered? When he sees Drona and Bhishma, that's the trigger. Mind you, that's the trigger. Then only it takes off. When he is smitten down from his customary attitude and mental basis of life, it is by the uprush of the tamasic quality into the rajasic man, inducing a recoil of astonishment, grief, horror, dismay, dejection, bewilderment of the mind. Bewilderment is tamasic. Confusion is tamasic. And the war of reason against itself, a collapse towards the principle of ignorance and inertia. As a result, he turns towards renunciation. That's escapism. That's tamasic. You have an assignment to submit tomorrow. So what do? It needs effort, it needs Rajoguna to come into it. It needs a higher motivation of Sattva Guna to do it honestly, not copying from others. But there are easy shortcut. What's there? Copy and go to sleep. Don't think about it. Let your conscience not prick. That's classic Tamaguna. You understand? So would you say most IITians are Tamasic or Rajasic? Tamasic, oh my God. Don't generalize. His decision to take the path of inaction in order to escape from his ethical dilemma and confusion clearly points to a preponderance of tamas. Indeed, in some circumstances, it may well be that inaction is the wisest course of action. The decision to act or not to act must ideally emerge from our innermost being, our true self. If the physical being trembles, unable even to stand up, and the vital being finds itself drained of energy and the will to fight, and the heart is rendered weak emotionally, and the mental being is subject to confusion and delusion, justifying and aggravating the paralysis, the situation is far removed from the buddhi-yukta condition that the Gita talks of. In such circumstances, it is also likely that the individual will invoke all possible arguments to justify his or her stance. It is not easy to get out of such a state of being, and the need for self-justification keeps asserting itself, as reflected in Arjuna's continued output. Just a description, a possible description of what's really going on in Arjuna. But Arjuna is smart. Arjuna, see, by the way, when you're in extreme tamas, you could even, in your confusion and despondency, kill yourself. That's why you should see mrityu, from mrityu to amrita. Mrityu also includes depression. Whenever you feel down, you want to give up. That downward trend is in the opposite direction to this arrow that I've pointed out. So you should be, and such people need help. Often when you're really into tamas, you won't ask for help. But luckily for Arjuna, and he had the best source of help right in front of him, his charity. Arjuna seeks guidance.
कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः सान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
So this is one of the longer verses, beginning the second chapter, 7th verse. So Arjuna is basically a noble guy, and he has good self-awareness. So he really diagnoses his condition, and he says, sentimental weakness has afflicted Karpanya dosha upahata, my warrior nature, and confused me. Svabhava dharma sammudha cheta. He's saying, I am confused. My normal warrior nature, where I will not hesitate at this stage, I know something has gone wrong. That's a frank admission. I ask you, so he's now asking Krishna bluntly, I ask you, what is my true dharma? Prichhami tvam. To fight or not, which is surely better? Yat sreya syat. I pray to you to guide me decisively. Nishchitam ruhi tat me. I take refuge in you as your disciple. Shishyak te aham tvam prapannam. This is fantastic. He really says, look, I know you know better. Also, Krishna's face is always like that. He's always smiling, he's always calm, he's always controlled. He always knows. So Arjuna says, look, you know better. So I ask you to guide me. He's saying all this, but deep inside he's not going to change so easily. It takes 700 verses to change the guy. So let's see what happens. Tvam Prapannam, I surrender to you. Even while being overwhelmed by Vishada, Arjuna intuitively knows that he is in a confused state and that any decision made from this confusion would not be appropriate. This is his saving grace. Somewhere deep down, Arjuna knows that something is amiss and he acknowledges Krishna's rebuke with regard to the apparent loss of his natural temperament of a brave Kshatriya warrior and makes an honest admission of his confusion. It is Arjuna's decision to submit himself humbly to the advice of Krishna that provides the basis for the main message of the Gita. It is noteworthy that Krishna does not venture to give any advice to Arjuna prior to this. Moreover, Krishna and Arjuna have been good friends for many years, and surely Krishna would have had many opportunities to reveal to Arjuna the wisdom of the Gita. But he apparently needed to wait for this crucial moment to make this revelation. This is in keeping with the Indian wisdom tradition, where the spiritual teacher or guru appears before and reveals wisdom to the student, Shishya, only when the student is eager and ripe for such learning and is found deserving. The Shishya has to be a adhikari. That's a problem with modern education. You become adhikari once you clear JEE and you paid the fees. Whether you are ready or interested, the teacher is forced to take you the class. So you have a reluctant teacher and you have a reluctant student, and then you don't get much. Then, but the old tradition was not like that. And it's a dialogue. You have to ask the right question and you get the answer. The teacher does not speak of gravity until the student stands in wonder in front of a falling petal and asks, "Wow, how come?" That's the old. There's a good book called The Dancing Bull Master. Look at it. Gary Zukav. So he gives his nice analogy. Despite his sincere admission before Krishna and his express intention of taking refuge as a disciple, he chooses to abide by his decision of not fighting the war. This is made clear by Sanjaya. Sanjaya, is the guy who is giving us the Gita. He's reporting from the sidelines. What does he say? So that's the next verse.
Sanjaya uvacha eva muktva hishikesham gudakeshah parantapa nayotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha.
Sanjaya said, having thus spoken to Krishna, Sanjaya uvacha eva muktva rishikesham. Rishikesh is another word for Krishna. Arjuna, the scorcher of foes, Gudakesha, Parantapa. These are two names of Arjuna. Gudakesha actually means someone who is able to ward off sleep. Arjuna had, he's done a lot of tapas. He had a lot of powers. One of the powers was, maybe I think you should learn what Arjuna did. He would not sleep. In fact, they used to put him on guard. Remember when they were in Vanvas? The best guard was Arjuna, but he would not sleep. He always did that. Gudakesha said, I shall not fight. So he said all this, please give me advice and all that, but said, I shall not fight. Na yotsye iti govindam uktva, and then he fell silent. Tushni bhuva. So he goes quiet. Okay. Now we finished the second chapter. Before we take up the third chapter, we'll first take a look at the review questions. What is the basis of Arjuna's Vishada? Is his decision not to fight something noble or ignoble in your opinion? Discuss in detail. I want you to give your frank opinion. You need not give the opinion of Sri Aurobindo or what's given in the book. Describe Arjuna's Vishada in terms of the three gunas. What are the implications of Uttishta? Through a personal example, discuss how this has helped you awaken and be decisive in your own life. You are your best friend and your worst enemy. Discuss. Often in life we find ourselves subject to Vishada like Arjuna. Discuss typical situations experienced by students and teachers in today's context. how do they typically deal with their despondency and confusion? Is there a better way? For you to think about, maybe these are the kinds of questions you could get in your exam. Okay, so before we take up the next chapter, let's do a little meditation. You've all got the. Okay, I asked you this question earlier. These notes. So, what are the two main objectives of this meditation practice that we are studying? Two main objectives. You are trying to remember now. First objective is to have stable attention. Stable attention. That means if you want to pay attention to something, your mind won't wander around. Stable, stay put. You will have high degrees of concentration. Do you want that ability? See, that's an ability everybody would love to have. Without that ability, you can't succeed in life, in anything. So, to put your mind where your task is, for the duration of the task is not easy. Have you noticed, most things we do, our hands are doing something, or not doing something, we're sitting in, but our mind is not there. This is true 99.9% of the time. Yes or no? Including attending class. Including anything you do. Right from morning to night, we are not attending because the different parts of our being, physical, vital, mental, all have different agendas. You understand? They don't have a common agenda. When you reach the 10th stage of meditation, everybody wants the same thing. That's called unification. Common agenda. No infighting. Perfect harmony. Gita, the word used is sarva bhavena. Every part of your being cooperates and you do the right thing. But what is the right thing is another question. So here there's clarity even in that. That's a wonderful state to be in. That's one of the objectives of meditation. First objective is stable attention. What's the next objective? Now you must not have so much stable attention that you ignore what's going on around you. You understand? You must also know the context. You must not be so. Also, you might be too tense while you are focusing on something. You need to also relax a bit. You need to see how the universe is related to what you are doing. You also need to know that there must be something, maybe something urgent there which needs more importance, which has more importance than what you're paying attention to. And that is called, to use a word which Buddhists use, it's called mindfulness. Smriti in Sanskrit, sati in Pali. So there are two objectives, powerful objectives. It's mindfulness that gives you compassion. It's mindfulness that keeps you aware that there are other people around you. It's mindfulness that frees you from your ego. So it's very important to develop both. In a way, if you develop both, you attain what is called relaxed attention. The problem with too much of relaxation is you go to sleep, you can't concentrate, right? The problem with too much concentration is you can't relax. So this is fantastic. If you can develop both these qualities, you are able to attain a happy state of relaxed attention, directing your attention consciously wherever you want to put it. That's a very powerful message. So, and what is the real basis of our practice? Are we really doing anything? No. We only have an intention. And the example given in the book is, how does a child learn to play catch? Remember?
Yes.
Remember? You caught ball when you were a little bacha. How do you do it? Ball is thrown at you. Actually, there's no coordination there. Now, someone throw the ball at you. How? You just intend to catch the ball and something happens, you catch the ball. It's mastery. You just need intention, everything happens. Your whole body cooperates to fulfill your intention.
Is it because of intention or just the fact that we've been doing it since childhood so that we are now accustomed to it?
Now, all you need is intention, that's what I'm saying. Don't give me a theory and all. You want to catch the ball, you will catch it, yes or no? But when you are a baby, when you want to catch a ball, you can't catch it.
That's because I'm not trained to meditate.
Exactly. You are not trained to meditate, that's why you can't have stable attention and mindfulness. Got the analogy now? You are like a little bacha who can't put his mind there. Actually, most people can't. Most people are bachas because there's no training. Got it? So all you need is training. How much training? Have you read a book called Outliers? Malcolm Gladwell. He's done research and he said anybody can catch anything. All you need is practice. How many hours of practice he says? Minimum 10,000 hours. But once you realize it's fun and it's great, it's very easy to do it. And you see the value. The value is actually so precious. That's why meditation was the core subject in Nalanda and Takshashila, the greatest universities the world has ever seen. Today it's all gone. It's all gone. You're following an alien system of education when 99% of what you study is important, and whatever noble thing that we could give to the world, we have not even valued it ourselves. So here's an attempt to get it back, and it's easy. And it's so beautiful to be able to stay put with what you want to do and not get distracted. It's fantastic. But you watch yourself from morning when you brush your teeth. Now brushing your teeth, you just intend to brush the teeth and the brush is there, the paste is there and the mind is somewhere else. Right? We don't want that. We want to do it consciously. When you eat food, for example, something goes somewhere, hopefully it goes to your mouth, but then you're not enjoying your meal. You're not even seeing what's there. You don't realize so many people have helped bring that meal to you. So the whole of Gita is going to help us look at every task that we do and do it with some degree of consecration. That's the word we use. Okay. What are the key obstacles to stage 1, establishing a practice, and how do we overcome them? Please read. What is the 6-point preparation for meditation? So, you see, why do we say meditation you can do in a secluded spot? Because the place to train, if you want to catch ball, you must throw a ball where other people are not there to bang the ball with. You must have a secluded place. So here you have no other job. Keep your phone far away. You've got no job but to meditate. There you can't do it because you're not trained. But if you can do it there, you can do it anywhere. In fact, you have to be able to do it all the time. Right. So what's the 6-point preparation? Well, firstly, you have to be motivated. And you can fire up with your motivation. I've given you the good reason for doing meditation. Remind yourself. Fire up your motivation. The second reason is set up a realistic goal that can be achieved. What should be your goal for a beginner? Huh? Not to sleep. Don't sleep enough. For you it could be not to sleep. What is it for you? To be able to sit. Someone once said, I don't know, great soul said, half the world's problems would not be there if people knew how to sit quietly for some time. We don't know. So to be able to sit, right? But you can do meditation in any posture, lying down, sitting, standing. But sitting is a good place to sit quietly. undisturbed, without moving, without fidgeting. Okay, so the recommended duration is 15 to 20 minutes for beginners, but you should be able to extend it later to 45 minutes. Just sit. No excuse. But you must have time to sit. No, when will you sit? Morning, which means you have to get up a little earlier than you normally do, which means you have to go to sleep a little earlier. Okay. Third is expectation. Don't have high expectations. I've learned meditation and you find you can't meditate for nuts. So you will get frustrated very easily, so don't do that. Be careful about that. The next, so this is a transition period. From your normal life, you're preparing yourself to sit to meditate. What's the next one? It's a very useful transition that he suggested. Next one is be diligent. Commit to diligence. What is diligence? Engage in it wholeheartedly. Say you want to do it. Okay. Next is review potential distractions. You will find that something pressing has happened. Or somebody sent you a nasty email and you're kind of restless and you want to give it back or you want to respond, you'll find that is going to come up in your meditation, in your attempt to meditate. Right? So you must have the ability to say, I'll do it, but let me. And actually the meditation will help you respond much better than you would have otherwise. You can go calm and adjust your posture. So I notice in class itself many of you are not having good posture. What is asana? Right? Sit erect, don't slouch, don't slouch. Your default slouch is which guna? Tamas. See, you don't have to tell me, you're showing your guna. Sit erect. When we meditate, ideally you should sit on the floor, or if you're sitting in a chair, don't lean back. Then only your spine will be absolutely erect, your neck, head, everything should be in one line. And can you try meditating for 1 minute? Which means you have to be here in this room and not go out of this room. Okay, be here now. 1 minute. Starting now. Close your eyes. Better. Okay. Now we'll tell you why the Buddha gave a simple formula. He said, focus on something like the breath. So focus on the breath. So why is the breath considered to be an appropriate object of meditation? How does counting help? First of all, the breath will put you in the present. Your breath is living, it's the present. You can practice this till your dying breath. You die one day. Well, nice to go away when you're in meditation. Next is something neutral, you know. You're cool about your breath, and it's always repeating itself. I'll show you how easy it is to practice breath meditation. In the meditation practice recommended, you should breathe naturally. But those of you who've taken the course in self-awareness know that it's good to have a rhythm. In pranayama, we have rhythm. So that's the only change I brought to this book. And I'm going to show you how the rhythm is. It's recommended that you should breathe 5 to 6 breaths per minute. Our normal breathing is so disturbed, it's varies anything between 10 and 20, 25 breaths per minute. So we're slowing down and doing it gradually. So, you will find the breath follows a certain pattern. Okay, there is a beginning and an end to the in-breath or inspiration. And there's a beginning and end to an out-breath or expiration and the cycle. There's a gap between. My suggestion is this. Try doing this. You breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. Don't look at the screen, close your eyes and do it. That's a clock ticking for you. Don't strain, let it happen naturally, smoothly. Okay, relax. I don't have time to do this, but you have to master this. Please practice daily. Give it a shot. It really will make a big difference to life. Do it, not necessarily in meditation time. You can do it anytime. You go to a room with a clock in it, you can do it because the sound is there. So practice this. You will find you can center yourself very easily. Especially when you need to do it. Let's say everybody is having a big fight and argument. Nobody will know. Do it secretly. Just be centered. You will have more clarity on what to do.